Israelite prepper. Just wanted to weigh in on this whole Colin Kaepernick thing. It seems like people are getting their feathers all ruffled and everything on the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. So let me go ahead and just put my position before I go into my little rant, if you will. I believe that Colin Kaepernick has a right to do what he did. I believe he was trying to make a point. The method by which he used to make his point was not very well received. But I understand he was trying to make a point. Now, if you saw his interviews and listened to the things he actually said, then you would understand why he decided to sit down. But if you listen to some talking heads, or if you look at social media and Twitter and Facebook and things like that, changed. The narrative went somewhere else. It went somewhere along the lines of Colin Kaepernick is unpatriotic. He's disrespecting our veterans. He's disrespecting our flag. He's disrespecting our country. But you have to put that in perspective. You have to look at what he actually said and then listen to what people are saying on social media. You see, he actually said, hey, there's a lot of injustice in this country. Innocent lives are being lost in the streets. Cops are getting paid leave after they murder someone or something like that. And something has got to change. And then, of course, later, he said that he meant no disrespect to veterans and things like that. My point is, we have to watch out. We have to watch out for people who actually change the narrative. You may not agree with his method. I understand that. Don't change the narrative. You may not agree with his stance. The narrative. So you have to take exception to what he actually said. Okay, I understand you might take an exception to the fact, well, he's sitting down and all that. And then the latest news is that he's going to take a knee instead of sitting down. But you are arguing on emotion. You're looking at his action and you're saying, okay, he's sitting down. He's disrespecting the flag. People have fought and died for this country. What, he doesn't understand what the anthem represents. What does it represent? What does the national anthem represent? Have you Googled all the lyrics to the national anthem? You may know, but other people may not know that it was written by Francis Scott Key in the 1800s. Slave owner. Said that black people, melanated people, were not completely human. 3/5 human. If it was written by a slave owner and didn't have a whole lot of respect for black people, then when it says the land of the free and the home of the brave, did he include slaves? Those things. And Israelite, he's being unpatriotic. No. Still believe that America is one of the greatest countries on the planet, but it is not without its flaws. Nobody wants to talk about it. Okay, fine. But when we look into the history, the anthem, the person who wrote it, the time in which he wrote it, and when you look at the rest of the lyrics, then you would understand why some people of color, some people of melanin would take exception to that. That's all I'm saying. Now, what you do with it, hey, that's up to you. You stand, you put your hand over your heart. Okay, fine. I'm not saying anyone shouldn't do it. Do what you want to do. But don't get mad at someone who is just presenting facts or who is just presenting history. Okay, like I said, America is not without its flaws. You have a people who were never appreciated as fellow human beings, but appreciated as servants. Appreciated for what they can do physically, build homes and go out and pick cotton in fields and things like that. Oh, you promoting hate? No, I'm saying history. I'm just reciting history. That's it. When the British are coming, oh, it's okay to stick a gun in a slave's hand and then promise them freedom, and then not do it, but promise them freedom. They're good enough to do that. They're good enough to raise your kids. They're good enough to fight your wars. They're good enough to build your country. See, this is systemic racism. And it's interesting how when you talk about people of melanin and you talk about their slavery, it's, oh, get over it. But when you talk about the Holocaust, it's, let's remember it. In fact, let's build museums. Let's send money. Interesting how we pick and choose. All it is what we choose to acknowledge or not. Like I said, America is not without its flaws. Okay, it's coming up. It's September now. Pretty soon, what this country calls Thanksgiving is coming. And as we all know, history is written by the victor. So if you look from the side of the victor, it's Thanksgiving. They came and they brought peace and they taught a savage people to be civilized. And it was a back and forth relationship. But we are in the age of information. Lots of information. Not all information is true, but if you dig deep enough, you will find that to our Native American brethren, it's called a National Day of Mourning. And if you look behind that and look a little bit deeper, talk to some of them, research it a little bit and see what they think of what America calls Thanksgiving. Their feelings matter? Does their history matter? Does their feelings matter? Folks, don't you be guilty of changing the narrative, and don't you be guilty of the very thing that you hate, or throwing red herrings, or putting out straw man arguments and stuff. If you've been on social media and you see a thread and you see the original post, and then as you get down and the further you go down, you forget what the original post is about. Don't be guilty of that. There is injustice in this land. There always has been. It has been systemic and it's still present. Oh, we can hide our head in the sand. We can ignore it. We can pretend like it doesn't happen. For those who are conscious to the fact, we know it is happening. Now, this might make you feel uncomfortable. Doesn't make it any less true. There's always been injustice. And because of a wicked, fallen world, there will always be injustice until our King and Savior returns. Is Israelite Prepper.